Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today we have a pretty interesting one. This is a couple of F-250s for 4.2 liters, 2000, what is this? I'm sorry, 2022, correct? Apparently, when trying to start this motor, you can hear the bendix of the starter motor going up, meshing into the flywheel, but it's not moving. It's like the engine is seized. I haven't gotten too deep into this. I suspect that it's not damaged. I suspect it could be hydrolocked. So come and let's check it out, see what's in there. This area I want you to hear when I try to start this motor. Here we go. I'm only gonna do this once because I don't want to abuse the system. So here, that's it. That's all it does. You can hear the bendix going up against the flywheel, but it's not turning over. So let's see what happens. It could be hydrolock. It could be that it's, something broken, but I suspect otherwise. Let's do this together. Obviously, first thing you do is to check your dipstick. Let's take it out. Okay, there you go. It's what I suspected. Look at how high this dipstick is from here to here, all the way, right? When it should have been right there, correct? But at the same time, I don't know if you'll be able to see it with the camera. You see all this like bubbles, like they're not actually bubbles, they are drops, correct? Okay, so I'm gonna put these drops in my hand, just like so, and we're gonna test it, and it's fresh water. Okay, pretty interesting. So now from here, I'll go ahead and remove the spark plugs, see what's in the combustion chamber. Because if this engine is locked, that means that there is fluid in the top of the piston to the cylinder head. Right in the combustion chamber, in any one of these cylinders should be fluid for that flywheel not to turn. Let's check it out. Okay, let's do 6. Number 6 first. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, look at this. Okay, let me bring the camera so you understand what I'm doing. Let's try number 6 again. Ready? Number 6. Let's take the spark plug off. Hold on, let me get this tool out. Look at number 6. This is why it wouldn't turn. I kind of suspected this. Number 6. Okay? All this is absolutely fresh water. Okay? All right, let's try now the, I guess, number 5. I don't suspect anything on the mid or top cylinders, but let's try it. It might very well be. And it keeps going. I took the spark plug a while back, and it keeps going. Look at that. It's a lot of water. All this is pure fresh water. So this is not happening. We know, obviously, that this is not happening while the customer is using the boat out on the ocean, okay? This is happening while the boat is in mainland connected to a garden hose. We know that for a fact. All right, so that's gonna help us in this diagnosis. 90% of the times, the customer or the captain gives you the answer to what the problem of the motor or on the boat or whatever job you're doing. Usually customer gives you a hint if you know how to listen. As the customer was leaving, he said, "Pete, do me a favor." He was already in his truck, leaving the shop. "Do me a favor, the flush adapter hose in the back of the motor," this is the new model where the hose goes to the back of the exhaust plates between the two cylinder heads. The hose came off. I put it back on, but I didn't tighten the hose clamp. Could you do that for me? As he was driving off, I said, "Don't worry about it, I'll take care of it." Something casual. Okay, he already told me that he had a weird noise, in the motor, like it wouldn't crank over. Okay, first thing I came, obviously, you take the dipstick off. And we know that the oil pan was full of water. Why do we know that? Because as the dipstick came out, usually this is full when you are up to here. And this was all the way up to here, right? Also, we know that the first 3 inches of the dipstick was solid oil. And after those 3 inches below that, it was the water droplets were there. We tested it, we know it's fresh water. We know it's fresh water because we tested also the water coming out of the number 6 cylinder. All the rest of the plugs were also, with the droplets of water. So, water was on top of the piston. The combustion chamber in number 6 was so full of water that the engine hydro-locked. How did water get on top of the piston? It went through the intake. And the only way that that water could be on top of the piston is if it goes through the intake port, the intake manifolds through the intake valves. How did that happen? All right, I want to check something here. Come with me, let's check something else. This is the hose I'm telling you about. You see, it goes all the way to the back, and this is the hose clamp. He did not connect it, so the hose was coming off just like so, right? And he didn't tighten this. So that T, this T right there was open, and this is connected directly to the front to the garden hose. So as soon as he turned the water on, full force of flow, freshwater flow was filling the engine. Now let's check this out for a second. Hold on. How about it's off? Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, we got the solution right here. See? Look at that. Can you see? That is water with oil. You can tell that the electric throttle plate, oh my God, this is good, is wet here. See? There's water there. He didn't know that hose was off, but later. I'm sorry. So he had the cowling on. He put his flush adapter, turned the water on. Water began to fill the engine. Water kept going up and up and up and up. And it's impossible to think that water went so far up to here. But let's say there is no way that the water level would have get all the way up here, right? Because then it would have started coming off the breathers on the cowling. But you know what happened? He did not run the motor with the flush adapter. He flushed the motor with the engine stream all the way. What would happen then? So before, you needed all the engine cowling filled with water to reach that throttle plate. But the moment that the water went in the motor was when the customer trimmed the engine up. Now, look at how much water you need. Water is coming in the hose because the hose was off. It's filling up the front of the motor first, up to about here. That's it. That's all you needed. Now, look at the level. It's right aligned with the throttle plate. So water start going in. We understand that. It's got to go somewhere, right? As soon as the customer put the engines down, all that water that was in here rushes down. It misses this cylinder because it's not air, it's water, it's heavy. It misses the number 4 cylinder, 2 and 4, and it goes directly cylinder number 6. That's why I knew when I opened up the spark plug in number 6, cylinder number 6, and it was filled with water, I knew that the engine was trimmed up and then brought down for the water to go through the throttle plate. Copy that? All right. Okay, at this point, I've already cranked the engine over several times to get as much water as I can from the bottom cylinders, and still water keeps coming out. that throttle plate is right up here, right? All the way in the top. So look at how much water you would need to fill all this up until get into the throttle body up there. Now, let's trim the engine up. Now, look at where the throttle body is now, right there. It's all the way down. So look at how much water you need to get to the throttle body now. That's all you need. Obviously, what's got to be done right now is completely drain the oil pan. I will replace the oil filter because it must be slush all over the place. New oil filter. Run the motor for a good while. Bring it to a running operating temperature to get rid of that, humidity or water inside the block. With the temperature, that water evaporates. Once the engine runs for a while at that temperature, let it cool, call the customer, and he's good to go. Okay, guys, well, there you have it. It was a good experience. I really enjoyed the diagnostic and going through the whole process, trying to make a story to see how it really happened. It was pretty interesting. Anyway, next time you flush your motor, make sure that there is no water leaks inside. What I did in this motor, I obviously got rid of that oil from the oil pan and the oil filter. I replaced 3 times the oil, 3 times new oil, let the engine run 15 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes the first time, 20 minutes the second time, about 30, 40 minutes the third time until I got the dipstick completely crystal clear, ready for the customer to use the boat. Anyway, my website is already up and running, us4marinerepair.com. Check it out. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.